Hello, very good day for you. And today, Agripedia YouTube channel is going to talk with you about the water requirement calculation for tea plantation. So, if you are the person who engage in tea cultivation or tea plantations, most of time you are concerning about the how much water required for the plantation. So, how much water requirement is for the tea plants. So, it is depends on the many reasons, especially the farmer who are focusing on establishing irrigation systems, so they should have some basic understanding about the water requirements for the plant. So today the Agripedia YouTube channel is going to talk with you about give some basic understanding about how to calculate the water requirement water amount for the tea plantation. So we are going to start some series of videos to talk about the water planning inside the plantation. So with that, we will go to our first video in the Agripedia YouTube channels, the water requirements for tea plantation. So tea plant, especially for the particular plant, how much water is needed. So normally, 1 tea bushes is required 4 to 5 liters per day, but this factor actually depend on many factors. As example, the amount of sunlight come to the tea plants and the amount of organic matters, amount of water available in the soils, the water holding capacity of the soils, and the type of harvesting and mechanism method of harvesting, and also the gap between two harvesting, or otherwise we call is the plucking rounds, and the type of clones, and also the angle of the land, or we call topography. So these are the factors directly impacts the amount of water going out from the plant, so which is called the per day requirements. So if we consider as example 5 to 6 liters average, because this rough research finding, they say the 5 to 6 is the average water losses to the plants per day, with the average condition of sunlight and other shade and other things. So normally the tea planting based on 2 by 4 space, so within the plant 2 feet, and between plants and 4 feet. So with that ratio 4 by 2 or 2 by 4, whatever thing, so the total numbers of plants available per acre is 4,500. It is the not slopey, it can increase little more. As example, you can take 4,500 lands per acre. So the one plant is required 4 to 5 liters. As example, we take as average 4 liters. So total water requirements in liters forms 1 acre tea plantation wants 18,000 liters per day. 18,000 liters per day. This is the amounts the tea plantation consumes, or what this is the amount that actually plant is consuming. So the when you establish in the tank for irrigation system, so for 3 days actually what we have to do is 18 liters per day multiplied by 3 days, which is called the 54 square meters, or in other word 54,000 liters. If you go for the 7 days, the capacity is also 18,000 liters per day multiplied by 7 days, 126,000 liters. So in other words, 126 square meters. This is the tank capacities you should have to establish within the plantations. But this is also depends on the many factors. If you're planning to refill every day, actually the tank capacity is enough to establish around 20,000 liters per day, your daily feedings to the water to the tanks. If you 4 day within 2 days, if you fill in water to the tanks, it is enough to have a 40,000 uh, capacity of liters of the tanks for establishing inside. So this is big. This is we want to give a basic understanding about when you establish in some water tanks or capacity tank inside the plantations. You consider what is the amount of water required by the tea plants, and also you have to consider the natural losses via the evaporations and the evapotranspiration. Here only we consider evapotranspirations, but the evaporation losses also should be calculated when you watering. So when you look at the efficacy of the water supply methods, there are numbers of watering methods in tea plantations. Drip irrigation is given 90% of efficacy, and the sprinkler irrigation is given 70 to 80% efficacy, and the flood irrigation is the worst things. You use the water tubes and apply water direct to the plant. This is only efficacy or efficiency is around 50%. So based on this efficiency, you can back calculate. As example, imagine if your plant want 5 liters per day, but you have to additionally add 10% of water supply to match the efficacy, as example. So these are the basic data regarding how to develop or how to establish tank inside your tea plantation. So the capacities for 3 days is 50,000 liters to 55,000. So for capacities for 7 days, 102,000 to 103,000. No, in other words, 102 square meters, so 1 to 103 square meters. Also, this the capacity tank, as I mentioned earlier, depend on the amount of rainfall. And imagine rainfall is coming frequency, you no need to apply water every day. So therefore, you can reduce the tank capacities and the water holding capacity of the soil if you apply water. If, if that soil can hold water little longer, so you no need to increase the frequency of water applications to the tea. So therefore the capacity also you can reduce. The weather, if it is dry weather imposed or impacted, if there's a dry weather, you need to think about supply more water, so capacity is higher. You can save money via watering and the water fill into the tank. So with that, we can conclude today's video regarding how to calculate water requirements for the tea plantation, so tea plant or tea estate. So this is actually, this video have developed based on basic data, but in next video we can calculate further how to calculate the water coming from rainfall and what is the amount to loss from the soil and how much of water you should apply to the soil for the tea plantation. With that, we conclude Agripedia new video. Today we conduct about the how to calculate water requirement for tea plantation. So if you still not subscribe our YouTube channel, help us to grow via subscribing and putting bell icon, then you can update all the videos we come via the Agripedia YouTube channel. So with that, we can conclude today. Thank you very much.